Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lavender Water Podcast, brought to you in part by United State of the Art and Once New Clothing. Today, I'm being joined by someone I go really, really way back with. This is my stepbrother. We met in the year 2000 at the tender age of 9 and 10. Our parents made us the Brady Bunch. In between that time, we've been rappers, we've been stock investors, we've been what all we been involved in? We've done a lot of art, we've done a lot of craziness together.
Real.
Well,
all the above.
Before we even go down that list, this is my brother, Kaden Schmidt, everybody. Please welcome.
What's up? I'm glad to be a part of the Lavender Water Podcast, brought to you in part by Lavender Water. You might have to do that. You might have to do that before somebody, go ahead and, start that Lavender Water.
I need to drop a drink.
You need to drop a drink, man. You need to drop a sports drink or something, some water, something.
Nice. It's funny you saying that because it's two different kinds of lavender. So my friend was like, you should like make like a drink and then you should have like an energy drink. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? That's actually a good idea.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let me know if you need anything, man. I got your back. I'm gonna definitely promote it on Instagram and I'm gonna back the product 100%, man. Because lavender water, man, is the future, man. Future.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So man, look, I'm definitely before we get started, man, I definitely want to thank you for bringing me up along this journey with you and pretty much just help the process along, man. I'm ready to promote the Lavender Water Podcast. I'm ready to see how far it goes and how much it's going to grow. Social media, different platforms, and yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. Definitely thankful.
Oh man, I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of them things. It's like really recreational, but we're everywhere, anywhere podcast really at. Like I was spending at the time that this episode is coming out, we already kind of like a couple months into this podcast, but like realistically though, I've recorded like most of the episodes in the first like weekend of starting the podcast. So,
and are you're gonna drop them like as soon as they are recorded, or you plan on keeping them in the chamber?
No, every Friday. So just once a week.
Okay, cool.
You know what I'm saying? Just to give me that cushion. You know what I'm saying? Because I work very full time, so I will not have the time to put them all out and then keep them coming. No, that'd be crazy.
Look, as a lot of people, as I would say, a good percentage of the world, we work, man. We gotta work. We gotta make ends meet. So yeah, definitely get it, man. Definitely get it.
For sure.
Yeah, man. All right. So man, I know you brought some topics to my attention. I don't, not sure which direction you want to go into, man. But I did look at the message you sent me, and I did respond to you. I'm pretty much saying these are some heavy topics that you're bringing up. Definitely ones that I would like to enjoy talking about. So yeah, I didn't know which direction you were going to, which angle you wanted to go into first. I know you probably had an idea.
This is a pretty plain and simple thing. We don't have to like fancy it up and make it transition no kind of cool special way. Okay. Sometimes we just present the topics and we just go. But the topics I did bring up for you, like usually in general when I have someone come on,
gotcha. I
know it well enough that I can identify something that they will talk about and somebody will learn something, you know what I'm saying? So the topics on the table for you I have are sacrifice and accountability, which to give everyone a little quick background on Kaden's journey. So I'd say the verge, like the splitting of our journeys happened in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, being that me and Kaden are stepbrothers, my mom, his dad, married. Kaden thought it was a wise idea to like skip school at home with his high school girlfriend. So
there you go.
my mom, being a mom, she heard a noise. She came upstairs. She said, "Hey, y'all want to be grown? Y'all gotta get out the house like y'all grown." So Kaden and his baby mama to be at the moment, they were kicked out of our house, and Kaden went to go live with his grandma for a little bit until ultimately he and his baby mother, they decided to move to DC. And that was 2007 that you moved to DC, 2008, 2007?
Yeah, yep, that sounds about right. Yeah, 2008, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's been a member of the DMV ever since. He's been to Cincinnati like at the most like 3 times in the last few years.
I gotta make it back, man. I definitely gotta make it back to Cincinnati, man. I recently seen something in the news. I don't want to veer off topic, man, but I seen something negative in the news about Cincinnati and, you know, some racist stuff at the schools. And I'm like, oh, man, see, why I got to be, because it said Ohio at first on the headline. And then I clicked it. I was like, it better not be Cincinnati. And boom, Cincinnati. I'm like, oh, man, see, y'all just going to mess it up for me, man. You know, because one negative thing could turn somebody off. It depends how sensitive a person is. I'm sensitive to a couple of things, especially racism. So I'm like, oh man, but you know what? I'm definitely going to have to just chalk it up. Visit the good old nasty natty. Home for a lot of people that's probably going to listen to this. The first people that are probably going to listen to this, the portion is going to be from Cincinnati, most likely. Cincinnati, Atlanta, and now I'm going to promote this podcast pretty much from the DMV area. So we got three Cincinnati's pretty major city, so 3 major cities are going to be tuning into this podcast. So I guess like you said, you know, brought up Cincinnati and how I got kicked out. I mean, yeah, it was just one of those things where, man, it was like, you know, fuck it. Can I cuss on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was.
I know how they flip, so I didn't want to be like, man, you gotta keep it clean, and then it'd be like, this fuck, my bad, fuck.
No, I'm not gonna go overboard. But I was pretty much like, you know, F it, you know what I mean? Just like whatever, like, all right, I'm on my own. Very, very immature, so I didn't know and I didn't know really the severity of being like kicked out, and then having a baby. I was 16, turned 17, having a baby on the way. It was something that was more so surreal at the time until, you know, hey, you got this baby, you got a woman that you're trying to, you know, be with, and now you need income, and you know, it's just responsibility, just like Tetris. You Tetris sometimes when you're at the beginning, it's fun at the beginning. You know, once you get towards the championship, all the way at the top, it's like yeah, it can just start piling up very, very quickly. So that's pretty much the best way I can explain is going through at that age with those types of responsibilities. But it is a good you know, it was good for me. It may not be good for other people. Some people, you know, everything is not for everybody. But for me, I think it was more so a better thing for me to go through, for me to, back to the topic, for me to start working on my accountability and my responsibility and, you know, just living up to pretty much filling the shoes that I created for myself. That was the most important part.
For sure. And yeah, I think a lot of people tend to run from those responsibilities or avoid them. Like there's a few people I've met across, you know, my time here on Earth that it's like, oh, didn't you have a kid on the way? Yeah. What happened? She won't let me see the baby.
I don't. You know what? I heard the stories. I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that. But I mean, go ahead, man. I want to hear that story, man. What was? You think people just run away from responsibilities like that?
I mean, sometimes it feels like whatever the conflict is, whether the state gets
Okay.
involved with the child support, that it's like
Mm-hmm.
it seems like it's easier to just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like people that I call my friends, they fight that fight to be in the
Okay.
child's life.
Gotcha.
But it's a difficult journey, man.
Yeah.
Bringing other people into this world and having to decide how we're going to raise them, how we're going to, what I'm saying, you want to give them the best, but, not everyone is, making top dollar. But,
Yeah, exactly.
if you really want something, you'll find a way to go out and get it.
Yeah, that is true. If you really want something, you're going to find a way. It's just like having a kid and me wanting to still do music. You know what I mean? Still want to be an artist. Still want to, make a certain type of music that may not, you may not want to play around your children, So I had to hide it. I really had to literally hide I had like an alter, ego or alter personality just because I'm this way, family man, this and that, and then boom, at night, you know what I'm saying? At night, it's all out the window. I'm not that. I'm still responsible, but I'm not that responsible father figure. I'm a responsible drinker. I'm a responsible rapper. You know what I mean?
Right.
But trying to balance those things, man. I just introduced my son to my music, and I'm kind of playing with him. He's about to be 9 years old, but from the time he was born to 9 years old, he had no idea like I was in music at all. He just didn't know. Showed him my music video, and he was like, he just couldn't believe it. He was just like, oh my God.
Are we famous, Dad?
I actually did tell him I was famous. I kind of was playing with his head a little bit. I was like, yeah, that's why. I told him that's why I moved to the suburbs, because I'm famous. I had to tell him. I had to tell him the whole spiel, so it kind of makes more sense in his head, because kids, they're young like that. They don't understand. Oh, why'd you move away from the city, or why'd you do this? You can't just be like, oh, for financial purposes or this and that. It doesn't compute. Or you be like, I'm famous, I need to hide from people. It makes more sense. Like, oh, okay, cool. I get that. So,
hey, however it works for you.
Yeah, you know what? It's one of those things, man. Kids are like funny as hell, man. Kids are just funny as hell. It's like, if you really work with them, they'll be your best friend. But not like, I know people say, oh, best friend, your kid can't be your best friend. It's to an extent, though. To an extent. You got to draw the line. You can't be like, oh, we're going to go out and we know from experience you can't go out and do other things with your kids. Like, you can't take them to the club. And you know what I mean? Like, you got to show them a little, but certain side, yeah, you should be able to have friend conversations to an extent with your kids. Like, oh, yeah, your friends or your friends in school, but they may not be your friends when you grow up, stuff like that. Like, you got to have that conversation.
Right.
But, yeah, that's really funny, man, really funny. That's like, I'm just exposing my whole life. I don't know who's even going to be listening to this, but man, whoever's out there, man, if you got kids, man, keep doing what you're doing. Just continue to try to, better yourself. Like, back to the topic, accountability, all that good stuff. Just try your best, man, because it's not it's right or wrong as far as boundaries, but it's not like a right or wrong answer to every single thing. There's some gray areas, and, don't beat yourself up as a parent if you don't do, like, the 100% most right thing to do. It's like, okay, as long as you try hard, you try your best. That's pretty much all we can do. Parents are not human beings. Hey, you made, like me, I dropped out of school. I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? But it wasn't the end of the world. Things happened. It was a little bit more rough, but we got through it.
Right. Yes, sir. So that takes us to the other side of the conversation, not just the accountability, but the sacrifice it takes to get to where you really want to be. So it's my understanding you have You have 2 daughters and a son.
Mhm. Mhm.
You live in a very expensive, not super, but it's pricey.
That's right.
It takes a lot to maintain a lifestyle like this, and
Mhm.
you've been known to work 2 or 3 jobs at a time.
Yep.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? You've been known to take care of a whole household off of the strength of your paycheck and the sweat off
Mhm.
your brow. So it's like, tell them, like, the
Man,
dedication.
sacrifice, man, sacrifice, dedication, man. Like, to be honest with you, with the sacrifice portion, man, that's a whole beast right there, man. Because, like you said, when you take accountability, that's when you start to make the sacrifice. So I'm glad we took it there. I'm glad we took it from accountability to sacrifice because, yeah, they go hand in hand. Once you take that first step, say, okay, I'm going to be accountable for my actions, then you'll say, now I need to be accountable for the sacrifice that I make to live the type of life that I want to live. Like, because not everybody wants to be broke forever. You know what I mean? It's like anybody who's broke has a dream to not be broke no more. I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't care, man.
To
You
some
can be homeless
degree,
or
to
whatever.
some level.
You said what?
To some degree, to some level, nobody wants
There
to
you
be
go.
broke anymore.
There you go. Yep. So yeah, definitely the sacrifice like was working 2 jobs, and still I still work 2 jobs to be 100% transparent. I work 2 jobs, not because I necessarily have to, because man, look, income is income, man. I just like spending money. That's honestly my biggest problem. But I can afford the type of lifestyle. Like, I just bought myself some new earrings. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, I want to buy some jewelry. I just,
Mm-hmm.
hey, it is what it is. I just bought my girl. I probably spent $1,000 on my wife for just luxury stuff like coat, purse, Louis Vuitton, like stuff like that. Just because, like, hey, it's her birthday. Her birthday the 25th, so we definitely running the bag up on her. And if I wasn't in a position to do that, then that's fine because I wasn't always in a position to do that. But you don't want to be. You want to eventually level up and sacrificing. Like, all right, if you don't make enough money on one job, then you might have to work 2 jobs for the time being until you got to have a plan, right? So let's say
Mm-hmm.
your plan, I want to be a rapper, right? We just gonna say a rapper because a lot of people, especially from these areas, probably gonna listen to this, probably aspire to be rappers or some level of an artist, right? Everybody wants to sing, rap, do some type of entertainment. So we just gonna go with rapping. So you want to be a rapper. A lot of rappers do not make it because they don't have the budget, right? It's hard to focus. It's hard to make the best music you ever made when you're like trying to figure out where your next meal is, or like, you know what I'm saying, or you can't afford the studio, can't afford the studio time, so because you have to pick whether you're gonna, they took child support out the check, so you can't go to the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, or there's different things that come up. So I think anybody who wants to do something like that, it comes sacrifice. We'll be like, all right, I can't do this. I can't like make music right now, or I can't do what I want to do right now. Like just because it's not financially, responsible. But in the future, my plans will, your plans will never die. It's just sometimes you got to take, like a detour. That's what they call it, a detour, right?
Yeah.
At the time, the plans I made, even on a date, like, I got an itinerary when I go on vacation. When I put that itinerary and everything seems so perfect, it's like, okay, we're going to jet ski 6 in the morning. We're going to go parasailing or whatever. It all looks good on paper, but then when you go throughout that day, there's distractions. There's there's this nice bar. There's a lot of people outside. Let's get a drink. So we might skip something else just to get there. But as long as the goal is still there, the sacrifice, you're like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice this for that. What's better for the future? What is more worth more sacrificing me going to the studio for 2 hours or me being able to have money in my pocket because if my car breaks down or whatever the case may be. You know, it's like, but people do not really make a lot of responsible decisions. That's why they're going to be listening to podcast. A lot of people, we might help somebody if they listen to podcast. They may listen to this and be like, you know what, man, let me put the blunt down. You know what I'm saying, for a second. You know what I'm saying? Or let me put the women on hold real quick. Let me put all the tricking that I'm doing or whatever. I'm not going to take this girl to Benihana's. I'm going to take her to, I don't know, Fridays. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we talking you trick money, Schmitty. Yeah, we see. Yeah. Stop spending
right
all your money on the hoes.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. My wife, our first date was, man, I ain't gonna give y'all the location, man. I give y'all too much. But our first date was just like a kind of like a bar setting where we just like had chicken wings. We had a couple drinks, and we really got to know each other on a different level than we had Benihana's or we had wherever, just watching some guy flipping, trying to throw chicken in her mouth and shit, you know, just or watching a movie and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that's cool, but we ain't really getting to know each other because we more entertained by what's in front of us, right? So if she has to be entertained by what's in front of her, and it's not you, then you probably need to reconsider like who you dealing with, like, and that sacrifice too. So we all can't start off with a 5-star, man. You can't start off with 5 stars, man. Sometimes we might need to start off with a 2. But that's the sacrifice. You got to sacrifice. Even women. Women want to go from being broke, working on their career, got aspirations and goals, but then they want a P. Diddy.
This Diddy.
Unfortunately, yeah, if you want to get cheated on and blah, 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 and go through a little headache and stuff like that, if you don't mind doing that for the Birkin, then cool. But a lot of people say they want that, but I've seen women that end up getting the money, or men that's doing that, and then they really regret at the end, be like, damn, man, I thought she was loving my life, but all she wanted was my money. You know what I mean? So sacrifice, you're going to meet the people that you're supposed to meet on your journey when you sacrifice. Because then they're like, okay, they can see the sacrifice. People respect that. People respect that more than tricking. People respect, I can go somewhere and be like, you know what, I'm trying to save my money. The people that's not for me, they're going to laugh at me. They'll be like, you trying to save your money, bro? You crazy. Nah, y'all ain't for me. Y'all is not my friends, because my friends are supposed to be like, you know, we support you. I'm going to save you inspire me, so I'm going to save my money too types. We feeding off each other's energy. So, but when you meet people like that and you're sacrificing together, men, female, bros or women, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's like you just build these relationships, and then on the journey of sacrificing, and I'm still sacrificing. So I ain't going to make it seem like I got all the money in the world. No, I still got dreams. My dreams are not music anymore. I'm not going to rap. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But
no, he out the game, y'all. It's been so long, like, it ain't even going to be the same. But that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes your journey redirects you. Sometimes you take one of them detours. Sometimes you end up on the highway you ain't expect to be on.
Nah, for sure. You see, there you go. That's and you just brought my mind back to that sacrifice part, man. So I couldn't make music because I'm sacrificing, right? So like I chose to sacrifice instead of like making music, which is not an excuse, but like it's really hard to juggle sometimes when you're really focused on other things. So, but the goal is still the same. I would love to make music, you know what I mean? But you know, it just takes time, man. But not like some people, man. Some people just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do both. And guess what? If that works for you and you're happy, then that's good. But we ain't talking about the people who's happy doing that. We talking about the people who's trying to you know what? That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to people that's not happy, trying to figure out which way they're gonna go. But like, I know you, bro. You're happy. You can juggle like a million things at once, and we've seen it. Everybody, if anybody's friends with you on Facebook or tapped into Once New, they know that. Excuse me. They know that you made sacrifice while making masterpieces. You know what I mean?
Well,
so they definitely are following your journey as far as your creativity. But at the end of the day, you're happy with where you are. You know what I mean?
right.
You're happy with the progress that you're making. You're constantly pushing forward, and and that's all love. But if someone's out there and they're not happy and they're not like where they exactly want to be, and they want to make a change, then yeah, just sacrifice. You gotta sacrifice. Put the blunt down for them, pick up the book. Okay, you know what I mean? Or you may not be able to make it to the strip club with all your friends, and that's okay. Main thing I want to talk about sacrifice, especially before we get off here. This is like a big topic, and a lot of people. And this is what I had to learn, man. I had to learn this the hard way. Sacrifice comes with like zero support. Like a lot of people think.
Tell them about it. Tell them about it. Oh my God.
Nobody likes you when you're sacrificing. Nobody's fucking with you. Nobody's calling your phone. People, and what's gonna make it even harder is that the people that are not sacrificing are gonna be out and they're gonna look like they're enjoying their life. That's the hardest part. It's gonna look like they're gonna be living large. To you, they're gonna be like, because you're cracking down, you're studying or doing whatever you're doing, you're staying on the mission. And while you're sacrificing, ain't nobody gonna pick up the phone and be like, hey, you need help with this? You need help with that? Or I see you sacrificing, bro. You know what? I'm gonna throw you the bag real quick and just give me the money back when you get time and when you come up.
Man. Yeah, what kind of angel investors, man?
You said what?
What kind of angel investors? Yeah, I ain't never had nothing like that go on. Yeah, that's one in a billion.
Man, look, but when you living good and you living long, you know how many times I hear that celebrities get free stuff? That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's because I get it, they can promote it or whatever, but not all celebrities are promoting free stuff they get. It costs to be broke. That's what I could say. It costs more to be broke.
It costs so much money to be broke. so much.
Happiness. If people put a price tag on, man, you can't put a price tag on happiness sometimes, man. Sometimes it's like, damn, I would rather be happy and have no money than to be rich and be. People commit suicide. I'm not saying that everybody's like that. I can have a lot of money and be happy. I can find a way to be happy. I'm gonna tell you that. But not everybody's like that. Everybody's different, But for the people that definitely are going through things and need to sacrifice, and it's hard for them to cut down. Sometimes like people like, I weigh a certain amount. I feel like some girls are skinny and they still call themselves fat. So it's all on perception, right? So
man, I got when I was a junior in high school, I was trying to talk to a sophomore, and that's the reason why we didn't talk. Cause like I'm fat, and I'm like, what? Yeah. And I was like, okay, I can see you trying to confuse me, whatever. So I'm gonna drop it. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep. That's crazy, man. I see it all the time, man. So, and then, like, depending on, how a person feels about their body or whatever. Because I hear guys, I need to cut down. I hear girls, I need to cut down. But then the main topic is sacrifice, and a lot of people will not. People will drive by the McDonald's every day and stop at McDonald's every day, and then drive past, like, I don't know, like the salad shop, or drive past the grocery store to pick up like a protein shake or something. Like, people drive past some things all day. As soon as they see that big yellow M, it's over. It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. They already got you.
This kind of goes into something my homeboy Jay be saying. he said it to me like 2015. But he was like basically saying that like everybody wants to be God, but nobody wants to be Jesus.
Ooh, that's heavy right there. That's heavy. Because it takes sacrifice. They want
sacrifice, man.
Yeah.
Literal sacrifice.
Bro, you ain't lying about that one. You ain't lying. Who said that? Because that's a quotable right there.
My guy Jay, he was on the first episode of Lavender Water Podcast.
Okay, yeah. I didn't get to check that one out, but I'm definitely gonna have to keep up with the podcast, man. How many you got in the chamber, man, so far? You got like 5?
Like 10, 11 as of this one.
Active. Let's get active, man. Let's get active. You hyping me up. Honestly, like, I could do this every morning, but I know you got people on the schedule. So I could definitely
you're very welcome to be a recurring guest and drop as many as you want. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem with it. But yeah, I am booked up until like Saturday.
Okay.
Because I got like morning talks all this week. So yeah.
Nah, do your thing, man. Just let me know when you ready for me to put me on the schedule, whatever. Anytime, man. Anytime. Anytime it's an honor, man. I'm definitely fucking with the brand, Lavender Water. It's the future, man. And I actually feel like that. And when I send you messages when you were bringing the idea and you was bringing it up to me, we were talking about it. I was a little at the very first. Lavender Water had to grow on me because it's not something that I would have picked, right, as a name, right? I would call it a big money cash or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Something on that line. But what I think the name brings to the brand, I think it brings some more diversity. I think it's going to be able to be more open to different cultures, you know what I'm saying, different audiences. So I do see that, and it actually kind of grew on me. That's why I can't stop saying the word lavender water, because for one, people like lavender, people like water. So I mean, hey, if you can mix the two together.
People also like podcasts, so boom, boom.
Yeah, there you go. bringing that life in the morning, man. And so, what time for people that don't know? Like, this might be the first one to listen to. They just might be catching on. What time on Friday is it going to be available? Is it just like Friday at midnight, or
Yeah, like as soon as Thursday hits midnight and it becomes Friday, it's out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's you know what I'm saying? Because I got them scheduled just ready to go at the midnight on the cusp of the Friday, just so that if I pass out or if I ain't at a computer, they're just coming out. You know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't want to get overwhelmed by like, I gotta find someone to talk to. I don't know what I'm going to do for my next episode. Like, no, we have zero of those problems.
Bro, I can tell from the Facebook. I think you threw something out there like, I think you just threw out some promotion out there about the brand, about Lavender Water, and then you had a couple people on there saying that they definitely wanted to be a part of the podcast. I mean, so I can see this, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. I can see this in the next 3 months to a year. It might blow up to the point where you might need to like hire people, or at least create more of a team, because if people need you to be mentally there, mentally ready, I mean, I'm pretty sure you got it, but if depending on how fast it blows up, you never know. I just have a feeling that that this is what people need, this is what people want, and people want to be a part of something. Especially, if you're anything like me, where growing up, I just wanted to be. I never really felt like I was a part of something. I always felt like the lone wolf, solo dolo. You know what I mean? So for people that feel like that, I definitely feel like that this is the podcast for you. People that want to be a part of something, that people want to feel empowered, and maybe they want to learn something. Maybe they like your voice, or maybe they like the topics, or whatever. Whatever it is, this is the place for you. One-stop shop, people. One-stop shop.
Yeah, basically, man. Like, it's at this point, I don't know what else I could do creatively to get people to be like, "Hey, Matthew Williams pretty official." Like, other than that, other than writing books or becoming a motivational speaker or something, like, I'm like, man, I've done everything, man.
Exactly. Nah, that's nice though. You said write a book. You know, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I know people do write books to, like, I guess, you know, you could say just for create multiple streams of income, and and people do that. And I mean, maybe after, maybe that's in the trajectory. Maybe that's in the future. You know, you never know. Do the podcast, create a couple 100,000 episodes or whatever your goal is, and then boom, might be write a book about it and be like, you know, the journey, you know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
But hey, man, I appreciate you coming through and dropping that game off. Like I said, you're welcome on the show anytime, because we definitely have more to talk about and more to go over and more game to drop on these people.
All right, for sure, man, for sure. If y'all wanna, you know, if you're listening to this for the first time and you're not connected on social media, make sure you follow my boy's social media. He's on there, Once Nude. And if you actually go to the website, you can type it in on Google. It's actually the first one that pops up. Just Once, just normal spelling, Nude, normal spelling. Once you type that in, you'll see nude.com. Click on that, and you'll be able to go under the tab bar and click on podcast, and then check it out, man. Check it out.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you. Much love to you, your family, and your wife, and your friends.
Thank you, man. Likewise, brother. Yep.
Any final words you want to leave us with, or?
Just look. If y'all like this show and y'all want me back, man, just put it in the comments, man. Because I'm definitely trying to get some activity going, man. I want to see which for not only me but for his show, who do y'all like better on the show, and then we gonna keep making more episodes with people that people want to hear. You know, we're gonna follow the money. That's how I feel. If we're gonna follow the money, let's follow the money. If y'all like me, if y'all don't like me, be like, man, cut them off, get them out of there. I
think so far all of my guests are really unique, and I think they offer something. You know, multiple parts are ahead for everybody who's been here so far.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, man, look, and let's get some. If we can get 3 people on the podcast, man, that's what I'm definitely looking forward to, man. Maybe if people like most people, let's throw them all in a bunch. I want to get on here, you know, to pretty much for the people that, you know, have questions or are curious about the world. Yeah, man, Lavender Podcast, man. That's pretty much. I'm gonna drop it there, man. Lavender Podcast, life.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. This has been Lavender Water Podcast. I've been your host, Matthew Williams, brought to you by United State of the Art and Once New Clothing. This has been Kaden Schmidt, and we're signing off.
Signing out.
Peace.